sea badge, documents for checking out, and ready to hit the road. I'm not sure where he's going, but he's heading out to sea also. Hello everyone. I'm on a passage from St. Thomas to the east coast of the United States. Right now I've set my destination as Charleston, but that could change based on the weather and some other factors. This is the end of the first day at sea, and the wind is a little bit light, although the sea is a little bit choppy, so I'm getting tossed around just a little bit, but it's not so bad. I'm only averaging about 3 miles an hour, which if I keep up this pace means that I'll cover roughly 70 miles today. And my goal is to do 100 miles a day, but of course the weather's not cooperating to give me that 100 miles a day. I'm also sailing a bit conservatively, so I'm not getting the maximum speed that I could be getting, but as I get more familiar with the boat and get more comfortable, I'll increase speed a little bit, and I'm sure the wind will pick up a little bit also. Hello everyone. It's roughly noon on the second day at sea, and directly back over the stern is Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, which I left yesterday at 6 o'clock in the morning. That device that you see with the long paddle and the word monitor written on it is my wind vane, and it's what helps to steer the boat, especially when I'm not holding on to the tiller, which when you have a wind vane is pretty much all the time. Well, not all the time, but a good part of the time. So we've got the main set, we got a staysail set, and we also have the Yankees set, which you can't see because it's clouded by the staysail. But we're sailing along and it's really calm. So we're only doing about 2 knots with just a little bit more than 2 miles an hour. The water is a cobalt blue, just absolutely stunning. There's a little bit of sargasso seed on the water, but other than that, there's nothing here at all other than clear open road. Last night I had a bird come and stop here on the boat and visit me. A lot of times when a bird comes, it's because they're injured or they're at the end of their life or something like that. He stayed on the boat. he or she stayed on the boat until roughly morning, and then I haven't seen him since. I did see evidence of places he had been, because of course birds, like all animals, leave calling cards. But hopefully I gave him a little refuge for a few hours and some rest. I tried to give him some water. He wasn't interested. So I'm really hoping that he made it. Well, that's all of our update that I have for you today on day 2. We're expected to have this calm weather for another day or so, and then we should start getting some wind. And I'm actually looking forward to a little bit of wind. So we'll talk to you again soon. This is our second evening at sea. I've had my supper and enjoyed it. And now I'm sitting out here watching another glorious sunset. We've had light wind most of the day. Varied anywhere from almost no wind at all to up to 5 to 7 miles per hour. As you can see by the ocean swell, it's pretty calm out here right now. We're moving along at anywhere from 2.5 to 3 knots, which is a bit slower than we want to be going, but that's okay. We've got the main up, the staysail, the Yankee that you can't see behind the staysail. And we're having a beautiful evening just here enjoying our glorious sail. There's no one out here. I haven't seen a ship since I left the area of St. Thomas in Puerto Rico. I have a device called an AIS, which alerts me to any ships in the area, and there haven't been any. So even while I've been asleep, there haven't been any ships. And that's not surprising. We're kind of out here in the middle of no man's land. We're hoping for a bit more wind as this trip progresses, because at the current rate, this trip will take over 20 days because we're moving so slow. But like everything associated with the weather, if you don't like it today, it will change tomorrow. And even if you do like it today, it will change tomorrow. So according to the weather forecast, we're going to have a couple of calm days, and then the trade winds will kick back in again, and we'll get a good 10 to 15 mile per hour winds each day. I think that's scheduled to start sometime around Friday. bird friend came back. This is day 2. Really surprised, but so nice to see him. It's always good to have friends, especially friends that come back to see you each day, check on you, make sure you're okay. Glad to see that he's okay. Maybe he'll stay with me through the night again, and then leave again in the morning. This will be his roost. And I don't mind. Give him a nice place to rest for the evening. Hello everybody. Welcome to the start of day 3. Actually, we're a couple hours into day 3. We're out here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and having a good sail. The wind is a little bit light, so we're only moving at about 2 knots right now. Yesterday afternoon we got a little bit more wind and we're chugging along at 3 to 3.5 knots. But at this rate, it's going to be a very long trip. But I do expect the weather to pick up a little bit and to start making better progress. At the current time, Starlink is not working, so I'm unable to contact family and friends and let them know that I'm okay. I know they're really concerned and worried. I haven't been able to get it working since I left the island. It was working fine on the island, but when I changed from the Rome plan to the global plan, it's just not functioning now out here in the middle of the ocean. I'm unable to return to land because that would be directly to windward, and that would take a tremendously long time. So I'm just going to continue on my path, and if I see a ship or something like that, I'll hail them and have them pass on a message. Other than that, it's a beautiful day in paradise. I did have a bird that has joined me the last 2 days. He comes at night and he roosts on the boat, keeps me company. I've nicknamed him Rico, because I'm pretty sure he came from Puerto Rico. I'm not exactly sure what kind of bird he is. I don't have birding guides here, but of course he's some type of seabird that is pretty comfortable out here because he leaves early in the morning and I assume goes fishing and does whatever birds do. And then, like I say, he's come here each night and joined me. So we've covered about 118 miles so far of the 1,200 miles we have to cover. I was hoping to cover 100 miles a day, but hope does not translate to actual mileage. Only course over ground does. But all in all, a very enjoyable trip. It's been relatively calm and beautiful the whole time. So we'll check out now and we'll come back and check in again later, especially around sunset. As you know, I love sunsets. Breakfast of a cheese omelet. Pretty simple. I brought 2 dozen eggs with me, and I usually use 3 eggs for each omelet. So that's roughly 8 days worth of omelets. I also have oatmeal and pancakes and various other things. Hello everyone. This is a little past the start of day 4. And we're out here sailing along in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean on our way to Florida. And the wind is still a little bit light. I'd say roughly 5 to 7 miles per hour. The sea is pretty calm, so it's actually a very enjoyable sail. I would like a little more wind, pick up speed a little bit and get home a little bit faster, but not a whole bunch I can do about that right now. So we're sailing under Maine and Staysail and Yankee. The Yankee is out on the very front of the bowsprit and the Staysail is attached to the nose of the boat. The water is a beautiful cobalt blue, and we've covered roughly 170 miles in the past 3 days and a couple hours. I'll post our position here for anyone who'd like to go ahead and track it on a map. We're north of Puerto Rico and east of the Bahamas, the lower Bahamas. So we're making progress. Well, it's the 4th day at sea. Comes to a close. We've got another half hour, 40 minutes before the sun sets. We've had another good day. The wind has increased a little bit to between 3 and 6 miles per hour, and that's helped us increase our speed over ground to about 3 to 4 knots. That's exciting in the sense that it's going to allow us to cover a little bit more ground than we have been. For the past 3.5 days, we've had very light wind and have only averaged about 50 to 60 miles a day. I'm looking forward to the wind increasing a bit so we can average 100 miles a day. The destination planned is Stuart, Florida, which is the start of the Okeechobee Waterway. And my plan is to sail to Stuart and then to cross the Okeechobee Waterway and then to go north from there back up into the Tampa Bay area to be able to visit my adult children, Sheila and Pamela, and my friends who live in the Gulfport area that I went through 3 hurricanes with last year. I don't plan to stay there long, but it will be nice to get there and just do a brief visit. Now let's go ahead and watch the sunset, which is my favorite activity. And this will close out the daytime of the 4th day at sea. The 5th day will start at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And we'll just keep going until we arrive at land. Jolly good day to everybody. This is day 5 at sea. We've covered about 280 miles, but the wind has picked up a little bit, so I expect to be getting 80 to 90 miles a day now. I've set my tentative arrival in Florida for around the 20th of the month, which of course is going to be a long way off, but it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, short of getting a helicopter out here to pick me up, this is the fate that I have chosen for myself. And it's not so bad. It's been a really nice trip. We've had a couple of issues to solve, such as the main sheet let go, and I had to repair that. We keep having a couple of minor issues with the wind vane. The paddle doesn't want to stay down in the water all the time. And just various other annoyances, not really problems per se. It's all part of a long-term voyage in which the boat is put through its paces. This is a lot of stress and strain put on equipment as you're trying to sail from point A to point B, roughly 1,400 miles. Found my first flying fish on deck. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. Let's put him back out there so that he can fertilize the sea.